G'day, Shane here. It's week 116 of my piano journey, and we're just coming back from 2 weeks of holidays, school holidays here in New Zealand. So we're back into lessons today. That'll be lesson number 86. And I was a little bit slack over the holidays. First week of the holidays, I did a sort of a review, as I recall, but I didn't for the second week. So I've got 2 weeks to look back on now, rather than my normal 1 week look back. So that's a little bit of a change, isn't it? Not much change in terms of the amount of practice done though. So a total of 7 practice sessions over those 14 days, for a total of just over 4 hours. So I suppose that's about 35 minutes a pop or so. So it's not bad, I guess. Nothing much to report in the practice sessions really. I don't think I'm I don't think I'm making as much progress as fast as I have been in some of the earlier pieces. I got I'm Still Standing by Elton John just before the holidays. I think it was the last lesson, I think, from memory. And I still haven't made a lot of progress, I'd say, on getting the notes down. It's proven a bit of a tricky one. The study in Latin I'm a little bit further along in, and I think we're going to cover off how to do some peddling with that today in the lesson. So I guess we'll see how that's performing there. But that's the update, and coming up for lesson number 86, did I say? Yeah, 86. In just a few minutes. See you then. G'day, Shane here. Thought it was probably about time I did an update on the pieces that I'm learning and what books they're from, just so that if you're following along, you know what we're looking at. So first up is this piece here called Jazzin Around 2 by Kerin, and it has the piece A Study in Latin in it, which I got a couple of weeks back, and which I've been learning and making progress on. So that's that book there. Today's lesson number 85, I'm going to be starting to learn I'm Still Standing, which is by Elton John and Bernie Taupin, I think, yeah. And that's in this book here. Looks like quite a good book, actually. I'm sure there's some other pieces in there I'm going to have a go at playing at some point as well, so looking forward to that. So that's the piece that I'm learning today, so it's piece number 2. I'm still working my way through this book here for sight reading tests. When I say working my way through, I've actually done most of them, but I just pick one at random and keep going at it. So it's good to keep the sight reading practice in place. So that's what I use there for sight reading practice. And for my scales, I'm using these scale sheets here. There we go. These scale sheets here. Which if you're interested in having some of those for yourself, you can download those from Jane's Accelerator Piano website. And the colour bars basically tell you that, hey, these are not the normal white keys. You're going to have to move your fingers for those. So if you're just starting out with them, quite useful. I've been finding actually that some of the scales now, I don't need to look at them too much to do that. I just sort of know which ones are going to be sharp or flat, etc. So after a while, you get sort of used to doing it. And Jane actually has some versions of these on the website. In fact, I think it's in the same file that doesn't have the colouring on them. So if you're interested in those, that's where you can find them. So her website, acceleratorpiano.com, and you just look in the resources section. There's plenty of videos and things in there on scales, and I think the same files probably against all of them actually. So yeah, you'll be able to find them there. So that's it for the scale sheets, and yeah. I'll tell you just how useful having a teacher actually is. I don't know how I'd be going if I was trying to learn on my own, because I wouldn't know what pieces to pick, etc. I wouldn't know what grade I'm at any particular point in time. You have to sort of try and evaluate that. And obviously it's a matter of whether you can afford a teacher or not. But if you can, I'd certainly suggest that you try to find a teacher, either locally or online. Jane teaches online. Time zones might be an issue if you are not in New Zealand, but I'll put some details below. She does have quite a waiting list, so if you think you might want to learn from someone like Jane, you probably want to get on her waiting list sooner rather than later. But one of the things that a teacher really does is they look at how you're progressing. and they try to identify gaps in your knowledge and your skill set for where you should be at that particular point on your journey, and then they try to fill it. So for example, the piece that Jane's going to be giving me today, the Unfinished Symphony, is one that's actually going to really work my left hand. So it swaps the melody from being on the right hand into the left hand, so that I can start to get some practice doing that, because I haven't done that before. That's something I would never have thought of to do had I been trying to teach myself. So it's those kinds of sort of insights that a good teacher will help you figure your way through and sort of really help you progress. So can't recommend a teacher enough, and the best one ever, although I'm a bit biased because I'm married to her, is Jane Trotter. So take a look at her website. You'll see that there's plenty of other people there, that dozens and dozens of people that have left testimonials that also think she's the bee's knees. So you can check that out. Now, the other thing that Jane also has is a YouTube channel and a supporting website called Accelerando Piano. And Accelerando Piano is where she puts up short tutorial type videos. When I say short, they're not 30-second type things. They're 5 to 10 minute type tutorials, and these are primarily aimed to support her students. Although she's made them public, so everyone in the world can have a look at them and use them. And what she does is, if you go onto a waiting list, if you're on a waiting list, she'll be sending a link out to people that says, here are some of the videos you should probably start to look at, that sort of, if you want to learn on your own a little bit while you're waiting on a spot, try these ones here, etc. And there's some key ones there on how to set up your environment so that you don't get yourself injured, and certainly worth taking a look at those. And if you are, if you have a teacher, then you may well be able to find some supplementary resources on Jane's website that supplement what you're already learning from your own teacher. And if you currently don't have a teacher, then you might be able to find some things there that sort of also help you on your way. It's not lessons as such. It's not going to teach you how to play a piece, but it will teach you things like how to play scales, how to sit properly, things that you possibly haven't really sort of thought about. I think the last one she's done, and I'm not sure what's up yet, is how to make sure you're relaxing when you're playing chords. I think it's called "Don't Death Grip Your Chords" or something like that. So there's sort of a variety of things like that. Definitely worth a look. And on the each one of those, well, not each one, but most of those tutorials also have a supplementary resource, and that's where these come in. So the scales tutorials that teach you how to play these scales and tell you the tricks about what fingers to move where, etc. Also have sheets available for download, and they're on her website under the resources page, and you can access those there. And that's what I've done here. I've just printed those out, laminated them so that I can flip them over and they don't sort of get crumpled, etc. So that's the other resources that I use. Can't highly recommend a teacher enough. So there you go. And I'll update this resources section as the books, etc. change.